Hi everyone, Movie 9 Minutes Introduction. A sci-fi movie Terraformars. In the early 20th century, humans plans to migrate to Mars to deal with the threat of population explosion. Scientists first took turns bringing two types of organisms to Mars. One is algae that can improve the climate. The second is an algae-eating insect. This great work has become the Globalization renovation plan. Fast forward to 2597, Akita, because she is often beaten by her father while losing control, used a knife to stab his father. Her boyfriend Kokichi saw Akita commit murder, hurried to drag her to run away, but the two of them were quickly surrounded by police. During that critical moment, Dr. Honda suddenly appeared and saved the two people. Turns out, undergoing 500 years of re-education, the climate on Mars has been almost the same as that of Earth. Therefore, Dr. Honda hopes Kokichi and Akita accept to do a small surgery, then go to Mars to destroy the insect that was brought up earlier. If the two complete this quest, not only they can erase the crime but also receive a generous remuneration. They both signed the contract. In 2599, Space Shuttle 2 arrived on Mars. There are a total of 15 crew members on board, assembling of all kinds of people in society. There are even mass killers and terrorists. They are all for money or because they want to remove the crime, so they accept this task. Very quickly, the ship landed. Mars' surface is covered with a layer of lush vegetation. After clearing all the obstacles, small groups began to go out for quests. The crew quickly discovered a group of strange creatures that has a cockroach-like face. Everyone was frightened. There were a few people who rushed away, but Kokichi and Akita thought this creature was a Martian. They were planning to talk to them. A cockroach-faced monster quickly charged towards Akita and crunched her neck. After that, it quickly disappeared. At that time, another group also brought information about Moriki. A crew member was killed. Everyone quickly came to question the captain. The captain told everyone those monsters were the insects they had to destroy. It turns out, 500 years ago, humans brought a cockroach to Mars. Under cosmic radiation and extreme environments, these cockroaches have begun to evolve. Gradually they evolved into Mars monster. Suddenly, a 3D image of Dr. Honda appeared and told everyone that the surgery everyone did before has incorporated insect DNA into the body. Now just inject a drug into the cell and they will be able to activate a special kind of ability. That is his idea, fighting fire with fire of Dr. Honda. After that, the captain gave out medicine for each person. At the same time, the monster reappeared, a person who was once a terrorist on the first battlefield. His body was mixed with the DNA of an insect that can spit fire. After the transformation, he can shoot fire with his hand enough to kill a person. What surprised everyone even more is that monster was completely unaffected by the flames. It easily killed him. Then, the monster smashed the glass jump inside the spacecraft. The captain immediately transformation into an ant and took down the monster. But so many monsters surrounded the ship, the crew's members decided to leave Mars. But at that time, the ship had a problem that could not take off. Then, the captain gave an opinion that everyone move to Space Shuttle number 1. Turns out, 10 years ago the Japanese launched Space Shuttle number 1 to survey Mars. If that ship was not damaged, then they can use it to return to Earth. After that, the captain decided to stay as a bait to prolong the time for the rest of them. A crew member named Ichiro also chose to fight on the captain's side. Before parting, Kokichi said goodbye to the dead Akita, but he found out a silk thread came from Akita's body, floating in the air. At that time, the captain and Ichiro led the monsters onto the ship. They shut the train doors and sucked the air out of the spaceship. They want to bring those monsters down with them. On the other hand, Tezuka also transforms. He can blow out fire. With his ability, the car carrying everyone has successfully escaped. But then they saw in the distance a raging wave coming. Turned out that wave was from countless monsters forming. Fortunately, thanks to Tezuka, they smoothly get through the first wave. But the second wave very quickly appeared. The two girls in the group immediately injected the activation drug. The car rushed past the monster wave and lost control. 3 people who were fighting were thrown out and quickly destroyed by monsters. The vehicle has changed to the driverless mode. Continue to bring those who are in a coma to their destination. After reaching Space Shuttle number 1, the remainder were divided into 2 groups. The previous 2 were gangsters outside to defense. Kokichi and 2 more people entered the spacecraft. The mate starts the system but found out the ship was also damaged. It can only send one message to the Earth when people are worried. Then outside came gunfire. As it turns out, the monsters have learned to use guns. They used weapons on the Space Shuttle number 1 to kill 2 defenders outside. The other 3 people who noticed that immediately injected the activation drug. Mother, he transformed into a grasshopper. The mate turned into a mantis. and Kokichi turned into a Japanese giant hornet. Their fighting power is amazing. They quickly defeat all the monsters outside. On the other hand, Space Shuttle 2 suddenly regained its oxygen. The captain also gradually regained consciousness. Realized in panic, a monster was removing its skin. Turns out, Moriki is not dead yet. She transformed herself into a wasp and used a stinger to control the monster. Moriki then kills the captain. Squeezing the water made Ichiro regain consciousness. Ichiro carries mosquito DNA, so in the absence of oxygen, he did not die, just absorbing enough water and he can recover to normal. Moriki and Ichiro's goal was the eggs of monsters brought back to Earth for Dr. Honda. At the same time, the Kokichi group heard the sound of the second space shuttle. When they were confused, a device automatically collected their combat data and sent it back to Dr. Honda. Turns out, on Space Shuttle number 1 brought humans to Mars, although those people have all been destroyed, but they were brought back to Earth by a monster on a lifeboat. Dr. Honda has thus found the secret of combining DNA with human to create a monstrous creature, but his intentions then was to get monster eggs. So he will find out the secret of the evolution of the Martian monster and create an army of powerful monsters for the Japanese government. Ichiro told Moriki about his life. Be a hacker, he wants to use his research to save others, but he was harmed by his superior. Not only took away his research but also makes him unemployed. With his grudge, Ichiro risked his life to make money by completing the orders of Dr. Honda. But at that moment, the egg suddenly moved. In it hatched 2 monsters. Moriki wants to control them, but turn out they has evolved one more step. Failure to control, Moriki is killed by them. After that, the 2 monsters shouted loudly. Under their summons, all the remaining monsters spread their wings and flew into the sky, causing the spaceship number 2 to fall. Kokichi immediately reactivating the fighting DNA, prepared to handle all the monsters. But 3 people discovered the 2 boss monsters definitely faster and stronger than them. Wink. The mate was killed. In order to win, Motherhe and Kokichi increased the dosage of the activating drug. Thanks to that, they were able to continue fighting. Then, Motherhe frantically injected more medicine. He evolved to grow wings. Finally killed 1 boss but 2 badly injured. Motherhe had fallen. Kokichi quickly ran to cover his friend, but he was not an opponent of the other boss. When it was about to beat him, Akita thought dead was transformed into a flying white butterfly, sprinkling chalk down the monsters prepared to risk her life with them. The monsters didn't understand what happened. They continuously opened fire into the sky. It made a huge explosion, kill everything. At that time, Motherhe also used the last of his strength carrying Kokichi up to avoid the explosion. Kokichi miserably sees the one he loves falling into the fire. Finally, Kokichi turned back to a human figure. Motherhe, due to too much medication, has become a half-human, half-insect form forever. Before dying, Motherhe told Kokichi how much Akita loves him and hopefully he can survive back to Earth. Some lucky monsters escaped the explosion. Kokichi knocked them to the ground but he didn't kill them. On the spaceship, Ichiro was in a fake dead state. Waking up immediately met a monster. He was able to kill the monster. Then Kokichi get on board, but Ichiro saves Kokichi from a monster. Kokichi decided to return to Earth with Ichiro. On the other hand, all research by Dr. Honda was made public by Ichiro. Dr. Honda's assistant, also a government spy, decided to kill Honda and blaming all the responsibility on him. But she did not expect that Honda is no longer a normal human being. He easily controlled the bullet and kill her. On Mars, the boss monster is still alive and decide to not chasing the spaceship number 2. Kokichi and Ichiro finally favorably left Mars and returned to Earth. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoy it, please like, subscribe to the channel and comment on your opinion below.